When we remember a time, we remember moments. A kaleidoscope of the sights, the sounds, the emotions that remind us of the way we were. Our world. It's about time. Here are Linda Ellerby and Ray Gandolf.
For the next hour, think of your television set as a time machine.
Tonight, the pictures and the stories on our newsstand are concerned with a lot of things you don't hear much about anymore. Things with strange names like Trilon and Perisphere, Blitzkrieg and Bund.
Welcome to the summer of 1939. Welcome to the final days of that magical, mystical, and mythical island, America. A time and place where people paid to build, then paid to see, an imaginary tomorrow they believed they could control. As fortune would have it, optimism turned out to be intellectual error. The industrial light and magic of a world fair turned out to be worlds apart from the military might and madness of a world war. And America turned out to be no island.
Terrible things were happening in the world in the summer of '39. Things that this country was pretty much exempt from because of a fortunate geography and a benevolent government. It was getting more difficult every day that summer to be happy and hopeful, but we gave it our best shot. Times Square in June of 1939. Broadway was never brighter. More than 17% of Americans are out of work. Europe is gearing up for a war that is now inevitable. But let's worry about all that tomorrow, like Scarlett O'Hara. Tonight, let's dance. Let's go to a picture show, to the theater. Let's escape, and let's swing while we do it. Swing is the predominant music this summer. It's nothing more nor less than jazz with the hard edges gentled away. It's Benny Goodman and the Dorsey Brothers, and the man who began the begin, Artie Shaw. In the summer of '39, Artie Shaw had the hottest band in the land.
Popular music is as good a barometer of the period as anything I can think of. Music is especially popular music, popular entertainment in a way, is indicative of the mood of the people, just as Wall Street is indicative of the upbeat or downbeat feelings of people. We'd come out of a depression, happy times were here again, everybody was dancing. These wild dances that people did were all reflective of a kind of enormous optimism and a kind of almost frenetic happiness. And maybe a little feeling that the war clouds were gathering and gather your rosebuds while you may. That kind of thing. So we were maybe living in a kind of pseudo-hysteria.
When we portrayed the future that summer, we left war out. The spectacle of the New York World's Fair of 1939 helped us escape to the future. It was gaudy and vulgar, glorious and fantastical. 1,500 exhibitors from 33 states and 58 foreign countries showed us things and gadgets and dreams, symbolized by the Trilon and the Perisphere. The human fly who painted the Trilon was Gildo Spadoni.
Painting the Trilon, I was going out, I was starting to work by 7 o'clock in the morning. I was happy to have that job. And a calm day was a pleasure over there. But when the wind used to start to blow, that was a tough job. And one day with a windy day, the wind took me out about 40 feet away, maybe more. I was afraid I want to come back, I want to break my back on the edge of the Trilon. Instead, I came feet and knee right on the Trilon, and I hurt my knee a little bit, but it was nothing bad.
60,000 people watched President Roosevelt dedicate the World's Fair, and something new called a television camera showed the event live to about 1,000 people.
I hereby dedicate the World's Fair, the New York World's Fair of 1939, and I declare it open to all mankind.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow. That's what they call this fair, the world of tomorrow. And they dedicated it to the blessings of democracy and the wonders of technology. It was also a magnificent monument to and by American business, and in a way, a collective illusion of reality. Rose Cutak was 18. She worked at the fair and, like so many others, believed in it.
People were just about getting out of that gloomy mood and poor. They started to work and had little jobs, and the admission to the fair wasn't that high, but yet it was enough to get them in there. And when they got in there, they forgot everything that had happened the 10 years behind, and they just let themselves go, and they were happy. They were really happy people at the fair.
Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street.
Every building was so different, and new things, like in DuPont. Nylons came out in '39. Oh, brother, that was the girl's dream, 39 cents a pair.
That rubber apron isn't much help now. She's splashing so hard it's getting all over me.
Every kind of product that you never saw came there.
The contest is over in exactly 7 minutes and 58 seconds. In that time, Mrs. Martin has washed 50 dishes and 40 pieces of silverware. Well, it's all over, Mrs. Drudge. You may as well rest now.
Every building you went in, you saw something that was so new, and you said, oh, I'll never have that, and eventually you did have it. The one thing that I was happy about was the refrigerators, because we didn't have a refrigerator until 1939. We didn't have one. We had an icebox.
Cold control, quick cube trays, automatic reset defroster, the hydrator, porcelain on steel construction has made possible the masterpiece for 1939.
And it wouldn't be an American world of tomorrow without an American car of tomorrow, on sale today. Oldsmobile even offered a hydraulic clutch, only $57 extra. Meanwhile, a real cartoon made fun of the cartoon-like fair where technology wasn't science, but magic.
Wonderful. Oh, see what this is. Oh, thank you.
Still, even a cartoon couldn't keep up with General Motors and its vision of a safe, if silly, street of dreams.
And now we have arrived in this wonder world of 1960. Traffic moves at unreduced rates of speed. Safe distance between cars is maintained by automatic radio control. The keynote of this motorway, safety. Safety with increased speed.
And when it came to surreal, General Motors couldn't touch Salvador Dali. This is a painting of Dali's peculiar world of dreams and the design for his equally peculiar pavilion. For a quarter, you could wander inside his head. There was no extra charge to wander out. Ian Woodner was the architect who built Dali's pavilion at the fair.
Salvador Dali wanted to join with me on an idea I had for a surrealist exhibit. And so, joining forces, we called it the Dali's Dream of Venus. All these shapes are strange shapes that he created themselves, with some spike-like forms and other like growth forms. I think the drawing is more imaginative than the building, because to actually build all this is a different thing than to paint it.
Inside the building, a series of three-dimensional living pictures. Here, Dali's dream house, a 30-foot glass tank filled with water, populated by Dali's liquid living ladies wearing teeny-tiny costumes. Also by Dali.
It made all the headlines and was a great artistic event, but a total financial failure.
Everything was there, entertainment. What else could you want?
How about a place where people could watch other people swim to music? Billy Rose's Aquacade.